Welcome everyone back to our GCSE series where me and Casey talks about our personal experiences during GCSE and also some studying and revision tips for each subject. And so today I'm going to talk about studying tips and revision tips on GCSE geography. And so, since GCSE geography was an optional subject, um, I'm going to talk about it today with you guys. So, to kick us off, there are a lot of helpful resources for GCSE geography. My most favorite resource that I used back in GCSE and particularly for geography was Z-Notes. Z-Notes has been talked about a lot during our series. If you don't remember, Z-Notes is a website where they provide condensed notes for almost every subject in IGCSE. And so what you can get from it is that you can extract the notes that they've condensed for you and probably make it into any types of revision tools that you would like to make, either flashcards or anything that you desire to. With that in mind, we will move on to some studying tips. So the first studying tips is in regards to case studies. As you have already known or haven't, case study is the core of geography. And because it is such an important aspect of geography, I would advise you guys to learn your case studies. Learn it here, I meant by learning it inside and out. Um, Remembering any important figures, any type of relations that your case study have on the particular topic that you are currently studying. So I can take an example of a case study that I learned back in GCSE was Australia's low populations. So you can see here it's related to the people and population topic, and so you can link this with anything related to life expectancy or birth rate that maybe could cause the problem of low population. And so you can see and you can start to um, connect these theories with the case studies. And so one way you can do that is by making a mind map. And so you put the case study at the center, and so you branch it out and start writing about different important facts about it, and then some detailed numbers, any percentage or any statistical data that you can think of. And so after you've created that, you'll see a visual representation of how the case study links with what you're studying for that topic. And so for longevity, in your exam, you can have an easier time in crafting your response to a particular question that asked on a specific topic. So after that, I would advise you guys to pick out a particular topic that you would want to focus on every fortnight. And so you can start by reviewing notes, and then start to attempt some 1 mark, 2 mark, or 4 marks practice questions to help you consolidate the theories. And then you leave the 7 mark questions at the end, which related to majority of time related to case studies. And so I'll talk about that later on as we move further. And then after that, with your note taking skills, I think you can implement dual coding. So basically, dual coding means that you can find or make a visual diagram of any natural formation to better like elaborate and consolidate the knowledge. So maybe you can take an example of rivers formation, specifically oxbow lakes. So you can have the formation of oxbow lake in words on one side, and then corresponding it will be visual diagrams of each steps and each sequence within the formation to help form that type of natural platform or landforms that you are currently learning about. So this is important for you when you are trying to answer questions relating to natural formations. Maybe during when you are attempting that question, you can also visually imagine the formation in your head because you've already make or find a visual diagram to help you elaborate and consolidate the notes that you are learning. And so it can help you easily answer those questions more. And then the last tips for studying tips is to practice paper two geographical skills. So this comes in you drawing maps, sketching maps, um, learning the how to use 4 and 6 figure grid maps, and also interpret cross sections. Such skills like that would help you tackle paper 2 much more easily. And especially for geography, I think paper 2 is the easiest to nail once you have fully mastered the skills needed for it. Okay, so we've covered everything for studying tips, and now we'll move on to revision tips. So the first point that I would like to make for revision tips is in regards to flashcards. So back in GCSE, flashcards are my best friend for the majority of the subject that I studied in GCSE, and especially for subject like geography, where it requires you to remember a lot of things such as case studies and the theories that you learn, general theories that you learn. And so again, flashcards can come in any type of form. You can write down your case studies, maybe three, ideally 3 to 4 points each for the case studies, and then the knowledge you can, depending on what type of knowledge it is, either definition or any type of sequence or formation, natural formations, then ideally again 3 to 4 points so that it can help you have enough knowledge about it to answer all types of questions. And then after that, you can make a template answer for each mark questions. So especially for 7 mark question, you'll need to structure it very smartly in order to get 7 out of 7. So maybe you can start by pinpointing your ideas. So through firstly, secondly, thirdly, and then you can say firstly, I think that Australia should implement this type of population growth because of some types of statistics that you learned, and then elaborate on it. So maybe follow the structure of TEA. So T means theories, so any knowledge that you mentioned at first, and then E stands for evidence. So any evidence that relates to any like facts or data that you learned for that case studies. And then A is analysis, so expand on it further. So yeah, so with that, it can help you systematically structure your answer and make sure that you have a good chance of getting a high mark for each question. And then after you've done all of that and study your geography knowledge, then you can start doing full past papers and start to time yourself under exam conditions, so that you can feel more comfortable when you're taking the real exam, and also know your pace on doing the exam, so that you can you know create some type of tinkering or any twitching, that you need during your examination, so that you don't encounter unfortunate mistakes in the long run. So yeah, that is it for my video on IGCSE geography. And now we back to Casey, and she'll talk to you about her subject on GCSE global perspectives.